What's up, friends? This is Jazz bringing you another Jazz cartoon reviews. This one is for Christmas. Now, I gotta give you guys a disclaimer. Some things I'm gonna discuss in this here episode talks about Christmas and Santa in a little bit of a different light. So, parents, I would applaud you to not let your kids watch this one if they watch these reviews. Just a little saying. But if you don't mind them seeing different sides, then go ahead. Let them watch it. Now on to the actual part of the review. Today I am reviewing Santa Experience, Rugrats, 2nd season, 14th episode. And I think the 52nd or 54th segment and all. Now, this was released on December 6, 1992. Only about better than a year after I was born. So, yeah, I'm not going to go over the whole episode. I'm not going to narrate the whole episode. I'm going to try just to point out facts about it that I noticed or that really stick out, which could be a lot of the episode, but I'm going to tell my opinion on it pretty much. The first thing I noticed is that Chucky's opinion towards Santa. I mean, he is 28 to 32 months. She's 14 months older than Tommy, being born on April 15th, 1989, and Tommy was born on June 11th, 1990. So there's a big age gap difference. And Tommy is far more comfortable with Santa as he is, where Chucky thinks he's this scary old being that he doesn't know what's in his bag, and he's just terrified of him. But then again, Chucky has always been that scaredy cat sort of guy, but he had a lot more experiences of Christmas than Tommy, so he should have an idea. It's just saying. But that's his part, one half of the storyline in this, one third of the storyline in this episode, so let's go on to, what I feel is the most important. Angelica ruined Santa for everyone. Again, that's the one reason I said to bring your kids away from this episode if you're old. If you're older, you're old enough to know. But literally, she starts by saying everything she wants, right? And what other thing, okay, one thing I want to bring up about Santa before I go on with the rest of the story. I know Angelica keeps making a list of stuff she wants, but isn't it Santa's job to just not say anything until she's done, unless it is dangerous? To be fair, I've heard of kids have longer lists than Angelica, but besides the point, she literally questions him for not knowing this stuff and rips his beard off and screams, "Santa's a fake, run for your lives." And she gets rewarded for it. The next scene is her seeing open a big box of toys the store gave her. And all through this, Drew thinks his little angel is traumatized. Drew. She does not seem fazed a bit. She seems her normal, greedy self. I mean, Steven still gets it. He says right there, she doesn't look affected. And she isn't. She's just peed off that none of the toys is what she wanted. And Drew still keeps insisting she is so traumatized by finding out Santa wasn't quote-unquote real. Is he blind? But another part, that is the third segment of this story. And it concerns both Drew and Chaz. They both feel that their kid needs something special. Drew wanted to reinvent, or rehash or something. Bring Santa back in Angelica's eyes to prove she is real, to bring her innocence, or so on so bad. And Chaz wants Chucky to have a better Christmas than he ever did. getting the best thing he ever got was a rubber glove and a tongue depressor. Really, Chaz? Santa was a D to you. Really? A rubber glove and a tongue depressor. That is literally depressing. But, yeah. I mean, I still can't get over, like, again, like, she's barely affected. That's another thing I thought. But anyway, she's going for her toys again, and, I didn't get anything any good, blah, blah, blah. What am I gonna do with this box of crayons and the Reptar space helmet? Foreshadowing very much. And, really, the way Chucky talks about Santa, what has he done to you in your 28th to 32 months of life? Really, to really cause your concern. Although, on back to my other note, Angelica gets this idea to trade in Phil's Reptar doll for a Reptar space for a box of crayons to give to Lil for her coloring book. And then later, she switches Lil's coloring book for the Reptar space helmet she had. She is way too smart and evil to be 3. Like, really. I mean, also, what is she gonna do? Well, I suppose she could do more, but then, one thing I don't get to is that she can get another box of crayons very easily. But why did she trade away the Reptar space helmet? That could be good with a Reptar doll. She's a little clueless. She is really clueless. I mean, she got a new colored book in a Reptar doll, great. But what's she gonna do without the Reptar space helmet? The crayons, that's the only thing I could see her easily giving up. Because crayons aren't that expensive, I think, even back then. Her parents would easily get her another one. But a Reptar space helmet that she got for free and she gives it away. I don't get it. Well, back to our, what I call B side plot, because I think Angelica's side plot takes considered, prominence. Chucky and Tommy finally get an idea to trap Santa Claus, to ask whether he is good or bad. Well, I can't see how that possibly could go wrong. I mean, even though Santa's a magical being that could magically whisk away anywhere, any trap they sent, I'm sure it'll go great. And also, the fact that he may not understand baby language, everything will go great. Yeah. But another very hilarious coincidence on the A plot. Grandpa Lou goes to tell the kids about Santa, who he has seen apparently, and he says that if you're bad, he gets a big fat lump of coal. Yeah, I think this is where Angelica has finally seen or thought she's done something stupid. I mean, whoops, because what she did with Phil and Lil is not considered good or funny, but she still does have her doubts. But still, of course, Grandpa saw Santa. So it starts at night again, where Angelica is wondering what she did, and does Santa really know? And she asks her father if the whole lump of coal thing is true, which he confirms is, not thinking anything of it. But she thinks that how's he going to know, and she's so dumb, and it was a great trick she played. Oh, Angelica, he knows. But I do love this next scene. She actually has a nightmare about her waking up. It starts off as a good dream and seeing all these gifts to open it up for me. Call. And oh my god. That's Santa. You know what? If that was the Santa who showed up majority of the time in this episode, I could see why Chucky is afraid. That Santa is horrifying. I mean, I know it's supposed to be made like that because it's a nightmare, but OMG, if that was the Santa, I would see Chucky's point of view. But it is, like, so hilarious. Like, normally I wouldn't, but that is just so funny. It was so worth seeing the look on Angelica's face. Just saying. And just if like this episode sort of goes in episodic parts. So it ends with a dramatic music like oh, we really care about if Angelica is going to get on the good list. She's normally portrayed as the villainous character. Why should we care about, even though she's plot A, why should we really care if she succeeds or not? But I just love the dramatic attic music in the end. I also love the title card for the next part. Later that day. That isn't too obvious. Like, what? They should have this said a certain time, like 1 p.m. or whatever. Like, that's the most obvious funny title card I've ever seen in my life. Like, so Angelica does, but back to the real point. Angelica tries to undo what she did. Like, her main point is she's trying to get Phil and Lil and trade back the presents before it's too late, but she seems to be having trouble undoing it, because it seems like, for example, the first attempt she tries to make, Betty takes them away to get their first Christmas tree, and that is unfortunate, but not. One other big thing I like to point out is, I feel so bad for Grandpa Lou. Like one thing, never work around the dog door. Like, he injures his thumb by stabbing it when he's trying to nail a wreath, gets knocked down by the dog running out the door, and it has a wreath stuck over his head. Like, I mean, I know that's comedy, but ouch, with his age, I don't know his age, maybe 65 at that time, 60, but ow. Well, one other thing I find is so funny is that Tommy and Chucky, like, they're all at the cabin now, so they're trying to find places to set Santa traps, and they go through everything like doggy door, window, and they get to the chimney. It's funny, because they're making fun of the fact Santa comes down the chimney, saying there's no one in their right mind would try coming down the chimney. Really? Really? That's the one place he does go down. But yeah, besides the point. So, Angelica tries again to talk to the twins when she gets on the sled with them. She even says they could talk once they're out. It leaves her with a big scarf on her mouth. It looks good on you, Angelica. Keep it on. Like, that is one time she gets kind of what she's going for. Like, it just shows her, like, the whole scarf on her mouth, and she goes, I'm sorry, but I was laughing out loud at that scene, because that's one time Angelica was literally shut up. Another bit of funny scenery is Betty and Dee Dee not deciding on a tree, and when Dee Dee finally likes a tree, it's too nice to cut down. Yeah, Dee Dee is a bit trouble to work with on that, huh? Like, really. And then Angelica finally again gets a chance to talk to the twins, and something happens. The one thing I could say is, Angelica, it is your fault that it has happened, because 1, you did not cut right to the chase, and 2, you stood up on the flipping sled. But it is hilarious. In other words, as you see, she's gone down the hill on the sled. Like, she literally, guys, she did not cut right to the chase. She was talking about how gift giving was always a thing and all that stuff, which she could have said, I did wrong, you get your presents back. That was all she had to say. Not make a big scene of it. Oh, well. But in the end, the whole tree thing is solved because Betty thinks of a great compromise. She gets an artificial tree. Actually, to be fair, I love artificial trees. We got one in our house, and it's less a hassle. Well, for the most part. Like, it's great. And here's Spike again causing an injury to Lou when he's just trying to hammer something above the fireplace, and he just barks. And he hurts his other finger. Like, really? What is with Spike trying to injure Grandpa Lou? Okay, everyone's having a good dinner, Christmas dinner, and Dee Dee is absolutely blind. Like Angelica's just rhetorically asking, or tried to rhetorically ask Dee Dee what would happen if she tried to be good and wasn't able to fix it. And Dee Dee like, oh, I don't know, you're such a good little girl. I don't know why you're asking so much about bad children. Dee Dee, one thing. Like, she is definitely blind to Angelica's bad behaviors. The ones that her or Stu had punished her for. I mean, they literally have her more than her parents sometimes. I mean, it's bad to say they look after her more than her parents, because they do care for her when they're there, but they literally have Angelica a lot of the time, so they should not be blind to her behaviors. They have punished her before this episode, I think. So they should know she can be a bad child. Why? Everyone seems to be blind of Angelica's behavior. In this episode, anyway. Why? Like, I mean, the thing at the mall, Drew shouldn't have just said, oh, my poor little princess. He should have saw that she literally ripped off his beard and traumatized the rest of the kids. But no. Well, it's later at night, and guess Chaz tries not to listen to Drew, and he goes to play Santa. Okay, that's a thing. Angelica, right after this point, Angelica is just all depressed and everything, and she hears the number to call Santa, and she literally dials it completely wrong. 555 5555. Yeah. This lands in an awkward situation where this guy picks up and he tries to tell her she called the wrong number, and she hollers at him, so he pretends to be Santa Claus. And when she asks whether she's on the good or bad list, I would normally say traumatizing a child, like, isn't a nice thing to do, but honestly, she deserves it by him just instantly taking a second to say, you're on the bad list. Like, I wouldn't blame him. I mean, she hollered. The third thing she did to this guy is holler at him and not listen that she got the wrong number. Like, so anyone, it's a stranger. I mean, an adult doing that mildly, if the kid is being bad and trying to say, oh, you're going to be on the naughty list, that's different. Literally just saying she's on the bad list from that one interaction usually is a bad thing to do, but it is deserved on this part. That is one of my favorite parts of this episode, was that one scene. Now, back to the B plot, I would say, now B and C plot, because it goes with Chaz's plot and Drew's plot too. They finally hear, Tommy and Chucky finally hear one of their traps set off. It's just Stu bringing in gifts, and then Chucky thinks he's safe, and then comes Big Boots down the chimney, which, oh, no one in their right mind would do, by the way, and they lock it, and Chaz, that is obviously Chaz, scars Chucky. Like, when Stu finally lets him in, he reveals himself to be Chaz, so she's just terrified for toddlers. I think Drew was right. Like, I think Drew was right about that, and I think your business of playing Santa is over. And just when Angelica thinks she is scot-free because, oh, there is no Santa, Santa comes to the door. and she gets what she wants. Yeah, he gives presents to everyone. Angelica opens it, and it's her dream house she wanted. And one thing I do not like is that Santa says trying to be good is just as important as trying to be good trying to be good is just as important as being good in the first place. Santa, one thing I gotta say about this. Normally, yes, try to be good in whatever is good, but the reason Angelica was trying to be good was to get what she wanted. Not because she wanted to be good or nice to someone for her own gain. So, Santa, your message is a little mixed and messed up here. Kids watching that will think, oh, well, we could do bad, but as long as we try to rectify it in time, we'll get something. Yes, that does happen a lot with kids. Like, parents will say, oh, well, she's trying. Here, you have a little something. But you gotta learn why the kid is being good. If it's just for their own selfish gain, they should be punished a little more than that. But anyway, I will admit, though, that even after she got what she wanted, she still gave back the gifts to Phil and Lil. And she didn't have to in a way, because she got what she wanted just after that. So she did in the end want to give it back to the twins anyway, and she even hugged them in that. So she did have somewhat of a redeeming moment, even if it's 5 seconds in this whole thing. So I'll admit that was good. And finally ending the C plot where Chaz said getting a professional Santa was a good idea, and when the professional Santa calls Drew saying he can't make it tonight and whatever, and everything goes on, and then they get confused and who was that? Santa is real! And to top all this off, Angelica does somehow get a lump of coal. She gets it in the garage of her house. She gets a little lump of coal. But that is still something. She still is getting a bit of a whack. And, oh, Dee Dee is so surprised. Again, how is she not blind to her previous misbehaviors? Is it all, everything is forgotten in this episode? Like, where's continuality? But anyway, guys, my opinion on it. I know this video was a little longer than I wanted it to. This is a harmless episode for the most part, I think, anyway. It's for kids at a certain age, it is fun and enjoyment. But if you're old enough, it does give some mix-up messages, like what I just said a few minutes ago about trying to be good is as important as being good in the first place. When you're trying to be good, it's best that you try to be good for a good reason, not a selfish reason. And like I said, Santa's message can be good when it comes from the right heart, but if it's come from greed, then honestly that shouldn't be considered. So, and also, I didn't really, actually, no, that was really the only harmful thing I can see, next to the whole debating whether Santa is real. That's the only other thing I think would harm kids watching this. But for nostalgic purposes and for older kids, this would be an entertaining episode that is really no real harm done. So if you're at a certain age, whether you're an older kid that is bored, or if you're just an adult who loved the show as a kid and wants to catch up on it, then this is a great episode. No real foul done. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please hit that big red subscribe button, because that will help me a whole lot, and I'll see you guys in my next video.